He kept his fist just 3 inches away from the journalist's body and the man went and fell in the pool. Because you're using the Manipuraka, the man will just fly. 9 years he waited. He lopped off his own left arm. From there comes the now famous one-handed Namaste.
Yes, so it really is an honor having you here in Germany. We grow up here, and so we couldn't help but coming, seeing you. Yes, so it really is an honor having you here in Germany. We grow up here, and so we couldn't help but coming, seeing you.
Shi Heng Yi, a 35th generation Shaolin Master, spiritual guide and head of the Shaolin Temple Europe, nestled in the heart of Germany, has inspired thousands across Europe to cultivate both physical strength and inner stillness. A regular speaker at events like the Greator festival, he shares the timeless wisdom of the Shaolin tradition in a way that resonates with modern seekers. And when we talk about the origins of Shaolin culture, it is fascinating to reflect on the journey of Bodhidharma, the Indian monk whose teachings in 5th century China laid the spiritual groundwork for what would later evolve into Shaolin martial arts. Let's dive into a powerful talk by Sadhguru, where he unravels the ancient connection between India's yogic sciences and China's Zen and Shaolin traditions, revealing how a path rooted in inner stillness gave rise to one of the world's most disciplined physical cultures. It is a timeless bridge between meditation and movement, wisdom and warriorhood, and the story might just change how you see both yoga and martial arts forever.
Bruce Lee, you heard of him? No. He was not a yogi, okay. He gave a demo. So, a journalist came and asked him, he was still not yet so famous in Hollywood, he had just come to Hollywood and talks were going on because he gave some demonstrations and he was almost superhuman. So, talks were going on, a journalist came to interview him. And he asked him, okay, people are talking about all this, give me a demonstration about your power. So, Bruce Lee made him stand here. He was at a swimming pool. The swimming pool was 9 feet away. He was standing here, the swimming pool edge is 9 feet away. He said, you just stand here, and he kept his fist just 3 inches away from the journalist's body and the man went and fell in the pool. 185-pound man went and fell in the pool with a 3-inch punch. Just that's all. No like this, just that's all. Because you're using the Manipuraka, the man will just fly. Manipuraka could be mobile, but that's not a good thing to do. Some of the people who are into certain type of martial arts are making their Manipuraka mobile to demonstrate certain things, that is not good at all. Once you learn to move your Manipuraka in a certain way, that too to do demos and stuff, such a person will not live long. So, I'm not saying this only with relation to… because anyway he is dead, that's easy to say. Not in that context. Innocently they have shown these things in some of the things. There are yogis who move their Manipuraka and do things. Such people never physically move, they sit in the same place. Once your maintenance center is moved around, you don't move your physical body, you sit in the same place always. I think in some of these martial arts movies, innocently not knowing what it is, they have shown this. Some old people are sitting, somebody falls down but they're always sitting. Have you seen this? Because one who moves his Manipuraka should not move his body. If he moves his body around, he will not last long. He has to go. Around 15 centuries ago, was a Pallava prince. He became a monk. His immersed in what he is doing, as per the wishes of his guru, who told him, go north and spread this, he went north enough to go into China. When he went there, the news spread that Buddha's disciple or somebody who is in that path, deeply immersed, is coming this way. So Emperor who had this aspiration all his life, who had built meditation halls, gardens, everything ready and translated all the Buddhist teachings into the local language, kept everything ready for a master to arrive. Now when he came, by then Emperor Hu is over 72 years of age. He came to the border of his kingdom to welcome Bodhidharma. And Bodhidharma was not impressed. Of course, he needed some rest and food, but he's not impressed with the grandeur of the welcome. But he received the welcome and sat down, and the moment they settled down, Emperor Hu said, can I ask you a question? Bodhidharma said, by all means, question. So he asked, I have built so many meditation halls, I have prepared so many gardens and so many translations, everything I have done to spread Buddha's message in this part of the world. Will I get Nibbana? Nibbana means nirvana or mukti or enlightenment. Bodhidharma looked at him, stared at him with his great big eyes and said, what? You? Nibbana? You will burn in the lowest hell. Somebody just welcomed you, gave you everything, gave you food, and now he says this. He says, there's no chance for you. Because the very fact, as you're doing all these things, you're keeping accounts of how many things you have done in your life, you're not getting anywhere, and he walked away. People tried to hold him in many places, he just went away. And he went near a Shaolin temple, but he did not walk into the temple. He went and sat in a cave close by. So, when Bodhidharma went and settled in the cave, General Shen followed, wants to be his disciple because he has heard that Bodhidharma is a colory expert, a master of colory. But Bodhidharma doesn't say a word. 9 years he waited. Then Bodhidharma came out and entered the temple. General Shen followed, begging him, please take me as your disciple. Bodhidharma said, that will only happen when the snow turns red. So General Shen, in a fit of courage and sacrifice, he lopped off his own left arm and swung the arm around, and all the snow around was covered in his blood and froze in the snow. Bodhidharma looked at this and he could not push him away anymore. He took him as his disciple. General Shen, trained in colory, became a master in his own way. From there comes the now famous one-handed namaste. Even today, they're doing it. This came from General Shen, who had only one arm. He did his namaste like this.
Across the world, there are people who radiate a calm so deep, it feels like time bends around them. They move with ease, breathe with purpose, and act with clarity, even in chaos. You might see them break bricks with bare hands, balance on a single finger, or sit motionless for hours in meditation. But here's what's truly remarkable. Inside their stillness, lies a mind sharper than a blade. Shaolin monks, guardians of one of the oldest martial traditions in the world, are not just warriors of the body. They are warriors of the mind. They can memorize hundreds of complex forms, mantras, movements, and philosophies, all in harmony. They can silence fear, observe a single thought for hours, or visualize entire sequences in stunning clarity. Is this enlightenment? Is it devotion? Or is it something more trainable than we realize? Let's peel back the curtain. Because the Shaolin didn't just master Kung Fu. They mastered the mind. And in doing so, they uncovered mental techniques that modern science is only beginning to understand. The story of empty mind. In the year 525 AD, a monk from India named Bodhidharma crossed the Himalayas and arrived at the Shaolin Temple. He found the monks physically weak, mentally distracted, and unable to maintain focus in meditation. He gave them a challenge. "Still your mind," he said. "Still your body. Then you will see." Legend says he meditated facing a cave wall for 9 straight years. No movement, no sleep, no food except what was left for him. At first, the monks thought he was mad, but over time, they noticed something strange. He remembered everything: sounds, shapes, shadows, even conversations that happened behind him. Eventually, Bodhidharma taught them the foundations of what would become Shaolin Kung Fu, not just as combat, but as a path to awaken the mind. So how did they do it? And how can you begin to train like they did? Let's break down the mental disciplines of the Shaolin monks and the science behind them. To a Shaolin monk, memory and clarity begin with stillness. Jing means tranquility, a quiet mind that doesn't react to every passing thought. Modern psychology calls this metacognition, the ability to observe your thoughts without getting caught in them, like watching clouds drift across the sky. When your mind stops racing, your attention sharpens. And when attention sharpens, memory sticks. In one Harvard study, monks who meditated regularly showed increased gray matter in the hippocampus, the very area responsible for memory and learning. The Shaolin knew this long ago. They practiced wall-gazing meditation, silent sitting, where thoughts are observed but not followed. Every form, every chant, every movement began with a quiet mind. If you want to remember better, begin not with effort, but with stillness. Lineage, train the mind like the body. Shaolin monks train forms called kata, sequences of martial movements, sometimes hundreds of steps long. They don't just memorize them, they embody them. This is lianxi, repetitive, conscious practice that fuses movement with memory. You don't rush. You return, again and again, until the form lives inside you. Modern neuroscience agrees. Repetition with awareness is the fastest way to long-term memory. It's called active encoding, and it's how elite athletes and musicians achieve mastery. But Shaolin monks add something deeper. They chant sutras while moving, linking sound, breath, and rhythm to physical action. This multisensory approach strengthens memory from all directions: visual, auditory, kinesthetic. You're not just remembering, you're experiencing. Try this. When you learn something, move with it. Walk as you recall it. Speak it aloud. Breathe rhythmically. You're building memory across the whole nervous system. Guancha, observation without distraction. In Shaolin, monks practice guancha, deep, non-reactive observation. Not just looking, but seeing. They would train in nature, blindfolded, listening to the wind, tracking footsteps by sound alone. They'd watch candle flames, cloud patterns, even falling leaves, to sharpen attention without judgment. Today, we call this mindful awareness, and it's proven to increase working memory, cognitive flexibility, and emotional regulation. Shaolin monks didn't use apps or flashcards. Their tool was the present moment. Be where you are. Notice deeply. Forget multitasking. Focused attention is memory's best friend. Yi Xiang, the art of visualization. Before performing a complex sequence, a monk would see it, not just mentally, but with full sensory detail. They called it Shi Heng, imagery so rich your body starts reacting. Imagine the wind on your skin, the sound of cloth moving, the weight of each step. Modern fMRI scans show that mental rehearsal activates the same brain regions as actual performance. In short, your brain doesn't always know the difference between real and imagined. Use that. Want to remember something deeply? Picture it. Not just the facts, but the feeling. Paint a full movie in your mind. This is how Shaolin monks trained without moving. This is how they remembered without effort. This is how they lived their practice, even in silence. You don't need to shave your head or move to a temple, but you can bring Shaolin memory methods into your everyday life. Begin with Jing, create moments of stillness. Let the noise settle. Practice lineage, repeat with purpose. Don't cram. Return again and again. Cultivate guanxia, deepen your awareness. Observe fully, without distraction. Use Shi Heng, visualize what matters in vivid detail. Because Shaolin monks weren't born superhuman. They trained. They failed. They returned. Until their bodies and minds became one. Until memory became instinct. Until the silence of their mind echoed louder than any noise. So ask yourself, what would your mind look like if it were trained like a monk's? Thank you for walking this path with us. Until next time, stay still, stay sharp, and remember, a quiet mind is a powerful mind.